privilege of being able to do a thought on communion this morning, and here we are at the cusp of November. How did it go so fast? If you're not already aware or feeling it, we're entering the season of busyness. I think everybody here could probably say yes. Like, we've already been in that season, right? But season of busyness, coming up on holidays. So signs that the busyness has arrived. All the Christmas decorations have been out at Lowe's since the beginning of October, and they're actually commingled in the same aisle as Halloween. So you have the 12-foot skeleton and Rudolph competing for the same space in the same aisle. So
did you put them up?
I didn't put them up halfway. Yes, halfway. Though I have unloaded probably almost 1,000 boxes of Christmas items over the last 2 months. So,
wow.
Seasons of life. Sometimes more busy, sometimes necessary for a time. I don't know if anyone remembers this. It goes back for a while, we'll say. But there used to be a bumper sticker in Vermont that said "Moonlight in Vermont or Star." So it actually is a song and a movie, I think, "Moonlight in Vermont." Yeah. I think it was Frank Sinatra and Willie Nelson was the song. I think the movie was a flop, whatever. But it was the bumper sticker, I think, maybe came out on that and was kind of a sarcastic take on that. But that was the thing when I first moved here in 1995, and we would see that, sometimes walking around talking to people, like we'd invite them to church and be like, "Hey, I'm working on Sunday." Okay, like, yeah, I have 2 or 3 jobs. And you're like, gee, okay. Well, my season right now is I'm working 2 jobs. It's it's not what I want. But anyways, I took a second job back at the start of September at Lowe's, and it's kept me busy. I do feel like God is taking care of us. We're not going to starve like the bumper sticker indicated. But I am looking to kind of, get a little more buffer in the budget. So that's what, and, I get a nice discount, which is
that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it really is. I may have spent more money at Lowe's than I've earned so far, possibly. Can't say that too loud, Chandra. But I'm just, I'm looking to see what direction God has for me next. And but the bottom line is I'm tired. I'm working, we'll say 8 to 10, but I can't fall asleep right away. So it's like I'm in this what was the movie? Bill Murray. Groundhog Day. So I'm a little bit of that, kind of feeling that a little bit. So maybe you are too. When I was a kid, there was a book. So eventually I'll get to communion. When I was a kid, there was a book called Hurry, Hurry. Does anyone remember this children's book? Yeah. Okay. Us older students. Yeah. But I always liked this book. It was a comedy of hurry and it was basically, I understood it as a boy, and it was making fun of the just crazy lifestyle of the parents, effectively. And I even got that as a kid, and it was funny to me. I'm like, ha ha ha. Now I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, doggone it. Like I kind of feel it now. And but recently, one of the things that was in that book that I remember, I looked it up again just to get the quote right, but it said, don't be, so the lady, the adult in the book, basically everybody told her, don't be in such a hurry or something worse may happen, ... And it did. And then it was the next scene, about what hurriness produces. But recently, Chandra picked up another book by John Mark Comer, who did the Practicing the Way book that we read a month or 2 back, however long back that was. And it's called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. So I was like, appropriate timing. It introduced concepts of life speed and hurry sickness. I was like, okay, I'm listening. And they indicated 10 factors you may be experiencing if you're experiencing degrees of hurry sickness. And this hit way too close to home for me, but irritability, hypersensitivity, restlessness, workaholism, emotional numbness, out of order priority, lack of body care, escapist behavior, slippage of spiritual disciplines, and isolation. And I'm like, and they want you to rate like, how many of these, how many out of 10 do you have? I'm like, I don't like this book. It felt like very close to home. I'm like, yeah, I am feeling that. But I think it's the way society treats each other. It's like, what is valued now? What's considered success? And I feel like it's all influenced by that hurry or hustle culture. You may or may not feel this, but I feel like it's the norm these days. And it's what's like celebrated in many ways, right? Some of the other quotes of this book, which I thought were relevant, was, hurry is a form of violence on the soul. Hurry is the root problem underneath so many of the symptoms of toxicity in our world. And this one, hurry is effective at killing relationships because love takes time. And her, just doesn't have time for it. And I was like, oh man. And like I'm feeling that just because I'm feeling less engaged with all of you. I just haven't had the time. Self put it on myself. I'm in that position because of me. But like that, just I don't have time for it. And I'm feeling it. But there was this quote. He mentioned it in the book. It's from someone else, but Corey ten Boom says, "If the devil can't make you sin, he'll make you busy." And I was like, oh, again. Like, wow, some of the stuff, Wow. So in light of an ever-increasing life speed that wants to crowd out your faith, like, what do we do, right? Happily, we have an author and perfecter of our faith that we can look to for help, Jesus. And Jesus practiced slowing down, and he demonstrated the importance of this to his disciples, so we could have space to rest and be able to consider what is most important. I have just pulled out a couple quick scriptures here. Potentially you're familiar with these, right? But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Luke 5:16. Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Mark 6:31. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed. Or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Luke 10:41 and 42. And this one is, my Bible has it as like the title, which isn't in the scripture, but that's fine. Cure for Anxiety was the title of this one, Matthew 6, verses 31 through 33. Cure for Hurry, maybe. So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. And I think just thinking this week, because I've been feeling tired and not really withdrawn, but just too tired to engage, maybe. But I've been feeling out of it, right? And I don't like feeling out of it. But Jesus showed us compassion because that's who God is. And I feel like that was something he purposefully wanted to demonstrate. And so this week, as these were my questions, but I'm hoping that we all can consider this. How do you slow down enough to consider Jesus? And then will you slow down enough this week to consider the cost he was willing to pay for you? I wanted to just close out here in Hebrews 4:14. Obviously it is communion, but this was something that I feel like is preventing me from getting there, from being where I want to be in view of the cross. And so whether you're there or not, I'm hoping that this can still be helpful. But Hebrews 4:14 says, therefore, since we have a great high priest who has ascended into heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet did not sin. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Let's go to God in prayer. Father, I am grateful to be here this morning with my brothers and sisters and just to contemplate you, just the greatness of who you are, your empathy and compassion for us that we see in Jesus. And most of all, Father, that we see that evidenced in Jesus being willing to pay the ultimate cost of going to the cross. And oftentimes, Father, this is, it can become just something that we know, and yet sometimes hard to just touch or get close to or feel pulled along by it. But God, I know that I don't want to forget this. This is the most important thing. I need to slow down my week. I need to find the time. I need to make the time to think about all the great things that you have done, things that you've saved me from. Just the position of where I am in life, whether good or bad or, whatever things we're going through, are not done in a corner in the sense that, you're not in control. God, you are in control. And I pray that we'll view our life as we go through our times, our seasons of busyness or whatever, with faith, knowing that you are looking out for us, that you are providing for us, and ultimately that you want us to be with you. God, we thank you for Jesus. We thank you that we can be with you because of Jesus.